Oh, we're live. Shit. It is early in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for me. I haven't not been to sleep all night, so sick. Sometimes when I try to get some sleep at night, I still hear those screams. Ooh, I'll have to be quiet. Well, it is late. They're impossible to forget. If you'd been in the village of Freycross that night, you wouldn't be able to forget them either. Then again, most of the people who were in the Freycross that night died. Fucking hell. I was one of the few lucky ones. Fuck. So what fucking happened? I wasn't supposed to be in Freycross in the first place. I wasn't born there, I didn't live there, I was just passing. Fucking hell, lucky bitch. I've been wandering through high roads as you do, and I need a place to stay for the night. The good people of Freycross were more than happy to accommodate me. They practically showered me with invitations to stay at their homes, eat their food and sleep in their beds. It was almost like presence was some kind of great blessing. And then a horned dragons escaped? Horned dragon, and the whole village was burnt down to the ground. It's a shame, really. Freycross wasn't an important place by any means. Most people in Talia probably hadn't heard of it. I hadn't. But the people of Freycross were good, kind people. And when I say that, I mean it. Truly. They spent their lives growing crops, rearing sheep, and fattening pigs up for the winter. They had to be self-sufficient because there were no nearby villages or towns to trade with. They looked after each other. Most of them were illiterate, apart from the village chief. It didn't matter. How could it not matter? And someone's posted on the stream, so. Hey man. Being located in an out of the way corner of the world, on the edge of an ill-travelled high road filled with monsters, they had learned to be strong and bold and self-sufficient. But they all fell over themselves when word spread that the great hero, how the fuck do I say that, Arcada of Little Haven, arrived at the gates of their village. "Oh please, Lady Warrior," said the head of the village, "make yourself at home. We are your humble servants." They were excited by unexpected arrival. Mate, you're the first to the stream, kid. Not many people could tune into a stream, so arrival. They even threw a banquet in my honour. They roasted a whole pig on a spit, apple in its mouth, and all. But that wasn't it. There was also meat pies, boiled potatoes, and handmade soups. The food must have taken a long time to prepare, and I was grateful. But a simple meal of bread and cheese would have done just as well. There was magic. A what? Laughter. Oh, laughter. Fucking, I'm spastic. And several of the smallest children at Freycross asked very shyly for my autograph. Not that they'd be able to read it, of course. They just wanted something to remember me by. I'm not sure why people make such a fuss about me. I never wanted to be a hero. Unfortunately, my legend has travelled across every single corner of Talia. everybody at Freycross that night knew me. Everybody loved me. They adored me. Was it because I fought in a lot of battles? Because of these fucking names? Cadith. Who the fuck is Cadith? I hope not. War is pointless, so is fighting. Those who glorify it, who... How the fuck do you read this shite? Venerate it and raise mere warriors like myself to status of saints. Turn my stomach. Not that I think much about Talia's saints. It was hard to focus on my food that night. Though the people at Freycross were being so very kind and shared what I knew were limited resources with me. They welcomed me with open arms. I was their close friend. They thought if I was there, nothing would be able to harm them. They were wrong. The dragon killed almost everybody that night. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It ravaged the whole village. It burnt the fields to the ground, cooked the fat right off the pigs, and engulfed all the houses in warm red flames. The houses in Freycross were all made out of wood. Most people were asleep when the attack happened. They died in their beds. They died instantly. At least, I hope they did. A horned dragon fire is strong enough to melt the flesh of a person's bones and turn the bones themselves into soot. If I must say, if I myself had been lying in bed at the village chief's home sleeping, perhaps I would have been burnt to a cinder too. Hero or not, I'm made of flesh and blood like any other mortal, and if exposed to horned dragon's fire, I'd almost definitely die. The small alternation the church did to my body back when I was a warrior priest who lived in Spinal would have been for fucking what? Naught. Though I can self-regenerate to a certain degree, there are a limit. I mean, there is a limit. A horned dragon would definitely push my limits to the breaking point. If I had been caught up in its fire, I would have perished, but I didn't. That's because I wasn't anywhere near the fire when the dragon attacked. I wasn't even in Freycross. I left the village behind me. I was trying to escape. Now you might be wondering why I was trying to flee in the night. Like a what? Like a fugitive from these good people who have offered me so very much and asked for nothing in return. Nothing. Other than arm wrestling competitions and my autograph. So many of them wanted autographs, though I don't know why. I'm not a skilled calligrapher. I spend most of my days gripping my sword still. It made them happy, and it was so skin off my nose, so I did it all the same. But here's the thing. Being revered, a hero for more than a decade can be rather draining, especially when you're not a hero. I don't think I am. I might be a great warrior, Arcada. What the fuck does that say? Scourge Scourge of the Battleground, Champion of Cardiff, the Protector of our Maranth village, but at the end of the day, I'm just a human. The church meddled with my body during my stint as a warrior priest, and I still believe the church at Smarnell was good and righteous, but I still bleed when you cut me. Honest to God, I do. Through the wounds will all close up unusually fast. I don't like being adored or revered, or what's with these words? I don't deserve it. Not when my only real talent is killing. Sometimes I worry legends will eclipse who I really am. In fact, I think that's already happened. There are so many stories, some of them true and most of them not, that I can no longer disentangle fact from fiction. I am not allowed to be a normal person anymore. I've done too many great works in my short life, so I left. Maybe you could say I ran. The people of Freycross loved me, they believed in me, and I let them down. Maybe if I hadn't left that night I could have done something. Slain the dragon, perhaps? I don't know. I've never done it before. If I hadn't run away, then maybe. But it's useless thinking about what ifs now. What's done is done. Finally into the fucking game, hopefully. Oh, for fuck's sake. By the time I saw the dragon, its scaly body and... oh, what the fuck does that say? Embossed against the round full moon, it was much too late. I turned back, ran to Freycross village, drew my sword. It didn't make any difference. Everything was on fire, everything was ruins, almost everybody was dead. Dragon was long gone, of course. It just happened to be passing. Maybe it hadn't even meant to target the village of Freycross. It just reacted out of instinct. Dragons aren't as smart as people think. People of Freycross didn't need a warrior, not even a great warrior. A fucking Al-Qaeda with all the accomplishments they need white mages, herbalists and healers. Unfortunately, I've never been very good with magic. What else do you think the sword's for? It's just what? Compensation. Oh, fucking hell. Compensation, really. I walked through the burning village. The ruined buildings were depressing. The stench of burning flesh was even more so. It felt like I was standing in the middle of a war. Like I was back in Cardiff. I stood there surrounded by licking flames and black soot. The smell of death invaded my nostrils. I suppressed the urge to choke. Finally, something interesting, hopefully. The lying on the ground before me was a girl. One of the girls who had asked so eagerly for my autograph. She was still young, only 11 or 12, maybe 13 at a push. She was alive, but barely. She had breathed in a lot of smoke, and she was coughing, choking. She wouldn't last the night. The ends of frayed night grown was burnt black. So were her feet. The fat on her legs was bubbling like a cauldron. She looked up at me. I looked down at her. The cool wind caught in my hair, it fluttered. The smell of dead bodies grew stronger and stronger. I got open the mouth and said, in a low, pained voice, why? I didn't know what to say. I didn't have any answer to give. I could have said sorry, but what use would that have done? So I didn't apologise. Instead I looked down at the girl with her burnt legs and her tear-filled eyes, and I simply said, that's how life is. And then I walked away. There was nothing I could have done. There's an important part of being a warrior. You have to know when to cut your losses. You have to know when to move on. So I did. I left Faircross Village that night. I never looked back. I stopped a medic on the road, told them about Faircross Village. I asked them to help. Maybe they went back, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I like to think I did all I could, but sometimes when when I'm feeling sentimental, I do wonder. Maybe I could have done something a bit nicer to that girl. Something more comforting. She was only a child, really. But the world isn't a very nice place. Okay, it's an actual game now. It's midday and the sun is high in the sky. I walked, my head bent, trying to keep beneath the cover of the trees. Fortunately, in the vast, sprawling little oak forest, there are plenty of those. Not all oak trees either. I'm no expert on various floral and fauna in Talia. I lived in the countryside as a child, near Littlebrook as a matter of fact. And my parents used to point out various trees when we went for walks. Skidamore, birch, ash, rosewood. They're all samples of my youth. I paused beneath the tree with a sturdy trunk, and numerous dark green leaves. An ash tree, I think, and a quite old one, judging by the thickness of its burrows. I need to take a break, wipe the sweat off my brow. It was horribly warm that day, muggy, I think you'd call it. Doesn't help that there are bugs everywhere, horrible buzzing things, mosquitoes. I can't stand them. Unfortunately, they seem to be rather attracted to me, like everything else in Talia. I need to reassess. Where exactly am I going? Back to a home in Old Haven, or what remains of it? I suppose I felt nostalgic. After years of wandering Talia, slaying monsters, saving civilians, I think I deserve a break. Even heroes get homesick sometimes. I lean against the bark of a tree. It's cool beneath my skin and offers me a fair amount of shade. I uncork the flask at my hip and bring it to my lips. It's warm. I winced but drank all the same. While I drink, I examine my surroundings and wave away a few more mosquitoes. Horrible things. Little Oak Forest really is expansive. It would be easy to get lost here. Think about it. Its name is a bit misleading. Maybe you could call it ironic. I've heard more than a few travellers who blundered in his sincerely believed Lil Oak's name, who got lost and eaten by monsters. Lil Oak is filled with monsters. Fortunately, most of them only came out at night. The highly ill-fitting name is although from the good old days, as legend goes. This place used to be a large expanse of lush green fields, flat fields with wild flowers and nothing else to see for miles upon miles. Then one of Talia's old queens of yore, Queen Litoni, her name was, but she was a princess back then, came here and planted a single acorn in the ground. The acorn grew and grew and dropped more acorns, and Lil Oak became the vast sprawling forest you see before you. There have been numerous petitions to change the name of this place. It's quite outdated now by a good 600 years. Fucking hell, 600 years. Now, what am I doing here? Is this my fucking English reading test? Nobody listens. People in Talia like tradition, even though I said tradition results in untimely deaths of around 800 people per year. Around 8 people a year. Why did I say 100? Well, that's just how life is. I cork my jug of water, attach it to my hip once more. My old village shouldn't be too far away now. Just past the crossroads, if I take the left-hand fork? Left-hand fork? What the fuck is that? I can make it before sundown. I started walking, crunching old, dead leaves and small, hard acorns beneath my sturdy wolf-hide boots when someone was. Now I wonder who that could be. It's gonna be your fucking nan, innit? You don't fucking know, do you, you daft twat? Maybe there's a monster attack. Most monsters only come out at night, but there's always an exception to the rules. I wonder if I should help this woman. I have no real obligations to, so I don't know who she is. I don't even know what she looks like. But well, I am a warrior. Old habits die hard. Alright, hold your horses, I'm coming. I return, retrace my steps. I take the right fork as opposed to the left and started walking, searching. It doesn't take me all that long to find the source of the commotion. Oh fucking what? It's a mandragora, a large plant-like monster with a flower for head, lots of thick ropey vines. Okay, no. The vines of a mandragora are holding a young woman aloft in the air. The vines are wrapped around her legs, her waist and her arms. Her hair is short and soft pink, like primroses. It catches in the breeze. Pretty. She won't be pretty for much longer if the Mordora succeeds in crushing her to death. I'll ask if you should go there. No, I would say, fuck that bitch. The woman looks at me with her eyes large, hopeful. Well, what can I do? I can't turn around and walk away. Nope, sorry, I'm off duty. I don't think that would cut it. Mate, I'd be sick if you said that. Well, fuck you, bitch. I ain't no simp. If I don't step in, she'll die. Okay, very well. I'm not saying that. Unsheath my sword. Oh, why are you asking a plant? Are plants even conscious? Put that woman down. No, you just... well... I don't know why... oh yeah, she fucking stated it there. I don't know why I said that. It's a Medora apparently can't understand common Italian. Italian? Or any kind of language for that matter. Well, what's your stupid ass asking for then? All the monster can do is shake its vines and spew pollen. Oh, fucking hay. Someone with hay fever's worse than nightmare. Oh well. I can at least say I tried to settle the fucking what? Diplomacy. Who the fuck do we think? Who the fuck does the creator think we are? Or what grades do you think that we fucking got? Seriously? Matt, I didn't go to university for fucking English. I don't even know what that fucking means. I'm not writing that. Medora snakes its long, thick vines out towards me. It tries to grab hold of my ankles, too slow. I jump back, avoiding them and slicing the vines into the blade of my sword. Easy. The severed vines begin to leak sticky sap. Enraged, perhaps in pain, the Medora starts shifting, swaying. It sends more vines after me, and I dodge all of them. I dispose of them with the slightest flick of my wrist. Slice, slice, slice. Very nice. Can't move very far. It's rooted into the ground. Its vines are long. It has limited range. I dance about its hair catching in the breeze. I should really get it cut. I sever each and every vine. Lady Knight. Who the fuck addresses someone Lady Knight? Be quiet, you're distracting. I like the attitude. What the fuck does that mean? It's like an anime and there's a fucking... I guess I'll cheer you on quietly from inside my heart. Oh, who are you, the fucking Pope? Now thoroughly crazed, half mad with pain, and a giant monster spurts out pollen, thick waves of the stuff, bright yellow. I don't know what it does, I don't want to find out. No, I'll give you a fucking snotty nose, you daft bitch. I jump back, I'm out of pollen's range, at least the worst of it is over. I will still get carried by the wind. Oh, it will. How do I approach it? Well, don't breathe. This would be easy if I was a mage. My mother always wanted me to study magic. She was a magic mage herself, a white mage who worked for the Central Spiral Church. That's the largest church in Talia. Unfortunately, I have no magic powers. I don't even shoot sparks from my fingertips. Being able to the what? Conjure fire from the air would be a useful ability right now. You think you're just like a fucking massive fuck off explosion? Fuck the girl either way. Being plants are highly... yeah, no shit, it's basic fucking biology. They burn very easily. Well, how do you explain wood fires in your daft care? Just like the village of Freycross. No, stop it. I'm not going to think about that. That was almost 8 years ago. It's irrelevant. I narrow my eyes, assess the situation. He's still covered in a veil of yellow pollen, preventing me from getting too close. I could tell it's leafy. It's leafy. Vegetative mind, if indeed it has a mind, that it thinks it's outsmarted me. The vines dig even tighter onto the captive woman, trying to squeeze her to death. Screaming. The girl gasps. It sounds like she's suffering. Very nice. I can't allow that. I won't allow that. Maybe this will work. I swing my sword hard. It displaces in air, but displaces the air, clearing out a thin path of pollen between me and the mother dragon. It shifts. Its large flowery head turning in my direction, but it's already too late. Whatever the fuck that means. I rush forward, dashing through the slim opening, and a stroke afforded. The jump. Medora panics, sending a bevy of vines after me. How many vines does this thing have? But I ignore them. Focus on the flower. I bring my sword down. It splits right through the large open flower in the centre of the Medora. Medora thrashes its pain. Its vines crumple on themselves. The young woman is released. She falls through the air, and I dash forward to catch her in my arms. I hold her against my chest and carry her away, while the Medora dances itself to death. The woman unconscious. The plant must have squeezed her squeeze the air out of her. Fortunately, she's still breathing. When I'm a good 5 feet away from the crumpled plate, I lay the woman down on the ground. I sit beneath the shade of an oak tree. The ground is covered in fallen acorns. Upon closer inspection, I realise my hasty first impressions were indeed correct. The woman is very pretty. She's young, maybe 19, 20, and has smooth skin and peach coloured hair. I examine her wrists, her ankles. There are red welts crisscross her skin, no doubt from the vines. Well, they'll heal soon enough. I sheath my sword and turn. I'm ready to walk away when... Oh, Lady Night. She's awake. Damn it. I know how you feel with the social insecurity. She's sturdier than she looks. No. She looks like she goes arse over tits with them pair of fucking knockers. Shit me. Are you just going to leave like that? Yeah, the fuck I am, hopefully. That was the general idea, yes. Oh, no fucking shit. I haven't even had the chance to apologise. apologise. No, you should be fucking thanking you daft cow. For what? Getting attacked by the plant. Well, you are in the middle of a fucking forest, you daft cow. It was my fault, really. I'm usually so careful. I know this forest like the back of my hand. I've never been caught by Madeira before. There's a first time for everything, I suppose, but this is really embarrassing. Then I should have let you die. What? No, of course not. This bitch is like, huh? Then you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck you on about, bitch? I was really happy when you came to save me. It was like something from a fairy story. What? Who? What? Who in fucking? I simply did what any concerned onlooker would do. No, we both know that's not true. Not many people would have the guts to face down a monster like that. People can surprise you. You certainly surprised me. I'm so happy. I want to repay you somehow. The woman gets to her feet. Her ankles are weak, and she stumbles. It's a good thing that I'm there to catch her, or she'd be making a sudden appointment with the ground. Love it, lad. Love it. With the ground right now. It seems like you saved me yet again. Saved you? No, you just saved you from embarrassment, not saved you like from death. You should be more careful. Yes, I will, I promise. Have a little faith in the promise. Fucking hell. Promises of the people from Talia. Well, if that's all, I'll be on my way. Oh wait, please wait. Yes, what is it now? What? You say me I need to thank you. But you were so strong and brave. Just like a real warrior. A real warrior, huh? She pauses and then, oh my, oh no. I know you, you're the lady warrior, isn't that right? I'm afraid you have the wrong person. No, it's really you, I'd recognise you anywhere. My older sister's a big fan and she has a wood carving of you she bought with 3 months worth of pocket money from the travelling market of Melora. Where are all these places? And she was ripped off. The likeness of my face is hardly worth that much of money. Damn. I don't know what you're talking about, miss. Call you, my name is fucking what? Cecily. It sounds Russian. And I'm very glad I met you. Oh great, oh fuck off. Okay. Oh, and you get fucking trophies? Hey, I'm already 40 minutes of fucking reading. I'm not gonna actually get a playing game. Oh, but this is incredible. She's so excited she's practically jumping. I'll simply have to go home and tell my sister. What? Celeste will be overjoyed. Well, don't let me keep you. What do you mean? You're coming too, of course. Of course. She makes it sound like something all drained. My stars. Something that can't be altered by any man. Not even the great. And what do you want me to come with you? Why? I don't think that's a very good idea. Cecily isn't listening. I have a vague feeling listening isn't one of her strong suits. You must meet my sister, yes, and my mother and grandmother. Fucking hell, 3 generations of the bitches. The village chief will want to see you, and all the young children, the men and the women too. She is not impressed, I can tell you that. But all I've heard, we've all heard of your legends. We want to meet you. It would be like a dream come true. Some dreams are better left unrealised. Nonsense. Yeah, fuck off. Don't this bitch get the fucking thing just like, don't she understand? Fuck off. No, I don't want to come with you. I know, you know it's been hard in my village lately. It hasn't rained nearly enough. And it's been so hot and dry this summer. There isn't enough water to go around and we are starting to lose hope. If you were there, I'm sure everybody would be happy. It'll prove that life can be good and great. And maybe even my sister will get better. She's sick. Yes. She's been very sick for a very, very long time. The only thing that makes her happy is her woodcut of you. I'm sorry to hear that. I turned to one side, suddenly awkward. You'd think I'd get used to being an idol after spending so much time of my life in the spotlight, but apparently not. I just want a quiet life, maybe just with a cat or two. I'm getting too old for this nonsense. Why am I letting this girl get to me? Anyway, everybody in Talia has one sob story or two. But when I look into her eyes, I feel more myself getting swayed regardless. Fucking hell. What a pain. I was out in the forest for Celesta. Actually, I was looking for some mugwort and lady purse to make a painkiller, you see. It's the only way she can get through each day now. But I was so worried, I must have forgotten myself. I walked right into what then? If I die, I don't know what happened to Celestia. Maria's mother and grandmother, yes, but she needs me. She loves me, we're sisters. Cecily takes hold of both of her hands, of my hands, and smiles. You did a very great thing today, Arcadia. You didn't just save me, you saved my whole family. I can't thank you properly, and I don't have anything to give you. If we went to Fairside, you could be compensated amply. I don't do this to make money, but my voice lacks conviction. There's no conviction left. Celia has drowned it all from me. How drained is this bitch? She's a skinny woman, but her face is awfully determined. Her eyes are narrowed, her brow frowned. She's earnest and means well, but she's also stubborn, self-assured, and absolutely will not take no for an answer. She's also rather attractive, which doesn't hurt. Her fingers, laced with mine, are very soft and warm. What's with all these fucking names? Please for me. I'll swallow. I'll turn my head, but I can't. You're exactly the kind of person I'm weak against. We get mandragals it's girls like Cecilia who will be the end of me. The two of us walk through a little like forest together. Leaves and twigs crunching beneath our feet. Light filters down through the leaves of the trees up above the mosses. But most of Cecilia's face is obscured in shadow. The forest is overgrown. Path are ill maintained. Perhaps they haven't been tended to in centuries. Not many people venture through the log forest. Not if they know what they're going in for them. People never know what's good for them. I'll keep on my guard, turning my head this way and that. My fingers tremble, an alien, unfamiliar noise brings my hands against my hilted sword, but oh, it's only a squirrel. Fucking squirrel, really? Weird laugh again. What are you giggling about? I didn't realise that was like you was afraid of squirrels. I'm not afraid of squirrels, I'm afraid we might run into more monsters. You can never be too careful. I bet you'll be able to take care of anything with one slash of your sword. Bam. What the fuck happened? Silly punches the air for demonstration. I'll roll my eyes. Swords don't go bam. Whoosh. I suppose that's better, but that isn't the point. I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about you. What do you mean? If you're with me, you're under my protection. I need to keep you safe. That's why I have to be careful. Oh, don't worry. Whatever your name is. I live in these woods. I've been playing here since I was a little girl. I can look after myself. But you still got ensnared by a man. Oh, what's with these shitty names? Oh, come on, it's a one-off. I'll be careful more. I'll be more careful next time. I promise. Cecily shrieks in alarm. She pitches forward. Oh. Catch her. I'll reach out and catch her before she falls almost inelegantly to the forest floor. She giggles awkwardly. I tripped over a tree recently. I could tell you. I guess it was a 2-off. Really, you really are clumsy. I can't take my eyes off you for a second. I would have been fine without you, really. It's not a big deal. Then I won't catch you next time you fall. Oh, painting. You're mean. No, you're just stupid. But it's the truth. So this village of yours, Fairside. Alright, Fairside. That's a nice, unassuming name for a village. How far away is it? It's not that far, it's just down this path. That's what you've been saying the last half hour. Or maybe it's a little further than I said. How much further exactly? 3 out. Holy fuck. It's just down the path. 3 hours walking, give or take. Why were you so far away from home to begin with? Like I said, I was gathering ingredients for Celestia. Mugworth. Don't they have Mugworth closer to home? They did, but like I said, there's a drought. Almost all plants are too withered to be of any use. I had a look in a little deeper. turn. 3 hours deeper. Yep, I'm nothing if tenacious. You must love your sister a lot. I don't love her, I adore her. Next thing you know, she's a fucking cripple. Nobody else in my family can gather these herbs for Celestia. Mother needs to attend the family business. Grandma is way too old. I'm the only one who can help. And I'm doing all that I can. I have to. You must have been walking for a long time already. Don't your feet hurt? A little, but it's no big deal. I can handle this much for Celestia. I'd even walk 500. No matter how 1,000 miles for her sake. A pretty sentiment. But do you know how long it would actually take? Nope, no clue. I've always been bad with mathematics. I figured. Still, Celestia's been sick her whole life. She's probably suffering much more than me. If she can handle being in near constant pain for years and years, I should be able to handle a little bit of walking. It's only 3 hours. 6 if you count both ways. Yeah, 6, that's nothing. When you were still in the army, you must have marched much more than that every day, right? I remember the long march to Cadiz. It took almost a week to get there. As soon as we arrived, we were thrown into battle. We didn't have the time to rest our weary legs. We were dying on our feet before we even arrived. Still, we somehow managed to win. People say our victories rest solely on my shoulders. The soldiers of Cadiz, the few that survived, said I was like a force of nature, not a single woman at all. I must have cut down more than 100 enemy soldiers, all the while avoiding their blows and magical bullets. Aloys wasn't so lucky. I shake my head. I marched for that long, yes. It's different for you. Why? You're not a member of the army. You're not a soldier. You're just a girl. Well, I might be just a girl, but I'm older than you were when you went to Cadiz. It's a legend, you know, a famous story. Everyone says you was 10 years old. Do people really? Not even Spinal would send a child into the battlefield. That's preposterous. Oh, and how old are you? 14. That isn't much better. Well, it is, because you're not a child anymore. You cast past a teenager. So, if the battle at Cadiz was 14 years ago, 17. Oh, for fuck's sake, how shit is your math? It hasn't really been that long. Right, then you're 28. Hold on, quick math. 14 plus 17. 21. 31. That bitch 31? Nah, she looks fucking 12. 31. Almost 32. Cecily wasn't kidding, she's really bad at maths. What do they teach children nowadays? You look pretty good for your age. You don't look much older than me. You'd think a warrior would have a few more cuts and bruises on her. I'll get that a lot. It's another perk of being a warrior priest. They have technicians in Spinal. How many times do they have to bring up a fucking body? Spiral for iron and some white magic. They only perform operations on those they deem to be the most worthy I was selected as one of the lucky few. Fair enough. Magic imbued into my veins doesn't extend my lifespan, it keeps my body younger and stronger for longer, so it doesn't degrade, so I can fight more, so I can kill more. My life expectancy is about the same as normal humans. A lot of people in spinal are shrewd businessmen, like to wring every last bit of use they can out of their tools, like blood for stones from a stone. That's what I am to them, or was before I quit at all. You don't need to worry about me. I might be older than you, but I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. You, on the other hand, could stand to be more careful. Hey, I'll have you know I'm super capable. I'll believe that when I see it. You're so full of it. It makes a couple of teensy tiny little mistakes, one of which could have got you killed. And then you start making fun of me. You're such a bully. You love teasing me so much. You're even smiling right now. I blink my fingertips against my lips. She's right. Cecilia might be a loudmouth who nearly got herself eaten by a what the fuck plant, but even she raises a few good points now and then. I really am smiling. How peculiar. I don't smile very often. There's precision little into Talia to fucking hell. I've lost the ability to read. I wonder why I'm smiling now. And we find here. Silly beams and plants her hand on her hips. Like, what do you think? It looks like a shithole. I look around Fairside Village dispassionately. Despite its name, Fairside Village is particularly fair. Maybe that's to be expected. It is on the outskirts of Low-like Forest. After all, its peculiar bathed in shadows and tall, twisted trees, mostly ash and hawthorn, I think. Aside from the forestation and particular whistling of the wind through the trees, Fairside Village doesn't look different to the innumerable of the villages scattered across Talia. Places are small and wooden, thatched roofs, a dirty path curving through the village, bordered with grass. The grass is studden with mushrooms and wildflowers, size, maybe buttercups. What are those small purple flowers? I'm not very good with flowers. It's not my area of expertise. A pig lumbers by unattached. It drags its soft pink belly across the ground. It curly tail twitches upon seeing me like a cat, and its ears fold back against its skull. It's kind of cute. There are chickens too, pecking the ground for worms. A few chickens playing rope jump. What? Chickens playing rope jump? But the moment they see me, they make themselves scarce. How odd. Usually it's the other way around. Have they never heard of me? Cadith was a long while ago. Perhaps it's before their time. Hey Cecilia. What? Is there something on my face? You look fine. A little gloomy maybe. Oh, I'm always gloomy. Except when you're with me, huh? Don't talk to me like we're friends. So, sorry. This place, fair side, is just straight across, just with a what? A Martharinth. I butchered that. Just like my home, Little Haven. I grew up in Little Haven. I wasn't born there. I was born in Spiral, but I spent my childhood there. The best years of my life, some might say. These so-called best years were mostly occupied with milking the family goat, Resi. I didn't play with the other children very much. I was shy, if you can believe it. I always hid behind my mother's back. My parents moved back to Spiral when I was 7. Mother gave up making cheese once the war started. She wanted to become a white mage. She wanted to help our people. She wanted to be a mage too. Unfortunately, I've never been very good with magic. I look around once, the pigs and chickens are still there, but there are no other people. Where is everybody? Is this the day of rest? Well, it's Saturday. The elders will probably be at the church. Church, right. There's a church in every single village, no matter how small, in Talia. I think it's a law. It was passed by the High Priestess Aurora, the de facto ruler of Talia. Queen Linda is supposed to be in charge, but she's nothing more than a figurehead. Everybody knows the church that has all the power. If you want, you can wait at my house. I will pour you a cup of tea. I'm not a fan of tea. Good gal, get coffee down you. Seriously, but I have all different kinds. Some rose hip, pumpkin, and please make us stop. I can only fit so much information in my head. And the catalogue of all the teas across Talia is not something I need to remember. Alright, fine. You mean you'll come with me? Sure. What do I have to lose? I'll do anything if it means Cicely will stop rabbiting in my ear. Oh, thank you so much. Celia grins and rolls her sleeves. Flexes her non-existent. Dirty. I'll make you the best pumpkin tea you've ever tasted. I've never said I wanted pumpkin tea. That's what you're going to get. What does that remind me of my mother? If you didn't like something, that's what you're gonna get, boy. I think it's the most delicious tea we have. Fine. I'm not a big connoisseur of orange vegetables. Mother used to pinch my nose when I was younger, then force the carrots and sour meth and opened it for air. Mother, despite being a white mage, was quite forceful. She would have made a good warrior. I think before my mother moved to Little Haven, she was a warrior mage, but she never spoke about it. There's a lot I don't know about my family. Now it's too late to ask them. They're not in a fit state to answer questions. I'll probably cacked it then, yeah. Cecilia leads me down the dirt path, particularly skipping the skirts around the strayed pig, and neat loops about the fountain, and leads me through the houses. I walk behind her obediently. She walks and walks. The air starts to get colder. The house is thin out. There are many trees here, but either. Are we going in the right way? Of course, I wouldn't forget the way to my own house. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, you. Cecilia pokes me in the side. You're funny. I wasn't joking. I glance to my left and right, my fingers start to twitch. It's the same feeling I get when I'm in immediate danger, when a monster is going to attack. I'm near there yet, almost. I sniff the air. I can smell vanilla pods, lavender, the faint embers of a leftover fire. Well, there's nothing so unusual about that. I'll glance at the ground and I blink. They're sprouting by the path. They're a few inches away from my foot. I see it. A clump of mugwort. Didn't Cecilia go to the forest 3 hours away from home precisely so she could pick this plant? That's what she told me. It was to live for her sister. Now I'm not sure if I believe her. Cecilia, I start to say, but I stop. Close my mouth, my teeth clink together. Cecilia standing before me, she faces me. Her fingers clenched into a fist at her side. Her eyes are narrowed. We're far away from the houses now. Cecilia's voice is soft and low. It's strangely menacing. I'm sorry, but the village chief told me to do this. This is the only way. While I don't have the chance to finish. Raises her right hand and says something. She expels her voice into the air. It isn't a shout, but it sets my teeth on edge. I know what this means. It's simple, single command. Burn. She's a mage. She knows magic. I never suspected a thing. That's why I'm so slow to react. Too slow. In the end, it was Cecilia's fire spell that brings me to my knees. Powerful though it is, and it really is powerful. I'll give credit where credit's due. But such unassuming, ordinary looking girl. She's very strong, well trained. The fire licks at my sides. It sears my skin off the flesh. It hurts. It really does hurt. Silly isn't the one who defeats me. It's my own foolishness, my stupidity, my willingness to trust. I thought I'd dispensed of that years ago. Apparently not. Silly wasn't so pretty. Pretty girls really will be the death of me. Interesting as fuck, boy. So this is basically like a story. I wake up to open my eyes, first one, then the other. It hurts, my head is pounding, the sight inside of my mouth tastes of charcoal. When I swallowed, I feel my throat convulsing. It feels like I've inhaled a ball of bearing. I choke. The air is rank. It smells of death and burning. It takes me a few seconds to work out the smell is coming from. So I see you're awake. I lift my head. There is Cecily, but she looks different to how she did when I first met her. More serious somehow, almost threatening. I thought you was helpless. You thought wrong. People tend not to take me seriously. That's their loss. They only realise how powerful I am until it's too late. You make it sound like you lure innocent women into villages, set them on fire all the time. It's not a hobby of mine, but I'd hardly call you innocent. Luckily for you, I didn't cause any lasting damage. I used quite a powerful spell, but you look fine. She's right, her fire spell was rather powerful. I sing your skin. I could feel it peeling away, like strips of wallpaper. But it's better now though, which is more than I could be said for my clothes. It seems the legends are true. You really are adorable. All the best warrior priests are. I'm not liable to tell you that. If I shared any official church secrets, they'd have my head. Oh, you don't need to concern yourself with the church right now. They're the least of your worries. Oh, that makes a nice change. A few Cecilia's stony expression shifts. I think I could see a pang of guilt, perhaps, on her face. For all her big talk, she's still a relatively young woman, 1920. It's hard to tell. But her expression soon tightens. She grits her teeth. I bet you don't even know why you're here, do you? It seems like quite a poor way to pay someone back for saving your life. Must admit, though perhaps you do things differently in case I'd come off it. You know my life was never in any danger. I did wonder about that. If you're such a proficient mage, why didn't you protect yourself? Everybody knows I'm weak against fire. Well, what do you think I was doing? It doesn't take long to figure it out. That's right. And it worked rather well, didn't it? Shit. I could always escape. I'm not so sure about that. I looked to my left. What? Then the right. I think I was supposed to say left. then the right. Stone walls, iron bars. I don't have my sword. I don't know any magic. I could pick the lock maybe, but wouldn't be surprised if the cell is enhanced somehow. This is quite a precautious situation. It really is amazing. I never would have thought that Cecily Rhodes could capture the Great Assyria. Is there a bounty on her head or something? It's not that great. I was having to kill a lot of people. If you did, you let a lot of people die. Oh, this might be linking with the, now I think about it, might be linking to back in, no, what's it called? Freyway or something like that. I'm inclined to agree with her, but so few people have told me this during my lifetime trips me up. Oh, that wasn't my proudest hour. That's putting it lightly. Do you even know why you're here? I imagine you hold something something of a grudge. No, it isn't just me. I wasn't involved, not directly, but my sister. My sister's the village chief. She is the leader of Fairside. Did you know that? I don't believe you mentioned it. Well, it's true. Our family has governed this village for centuries. We keep it safe from harm. Fairside isn't a rich village. We don't mine rare minerals, and we don't have any deposits of coal or oil nearby. And all we have are farmers, pigs and chickens. We try to fend for ourselves. We do have some connections with Freycross village, though. At least we did. Before it went up in flames. Yes, until that happened, Cecilie, hands tremble, she counts them into a fist. Well, it was 12 years ago. My mother and grandmother took Celesta to Faircross village. We had a bad harvest that year, and we were going to trade some of our cows for wheat and corn. I stayed at home with my father. I was too young to travel. And anyway, I'm the youngest. I'm youngest than Celestia. I wasn't going to be the next head. I didn't need to see how trade is done. My sister was so excited. She braided her hair, tied up a green ribbon she wore. She thought it was going on holiday. She made sure to bring her most prized possession to her woodcutter view, the lady warrior of which she brought with her own money. I looked on the stone floor at anything to avoid Celesta's gaze. That's the worst thing about regaled stories, where you star as the main character. For better or for worse, you already know how things are going to end. When they arrived at Faircross after a days long and weary travel, however, discovered something amazing, something that put all thoughts out of trades out of mind. They found you. You arrived in the village. And there was a banquet being held in your honour. Everyone was so excited. They thought it was a good omen, my sister especially. Cecilie shakes her head. She was overjoyed with you. Were her muse, her idol, and she really did love you. She loved you, and then when the dragon attacked you, abandoned the village, you could have defended it. But you didn't. The villagers went looking for you, but you weren't in your room. You'd ran away, and you let everybody burn. Everybody died. My mother and grandmother and sister almost died too. The dragon's fire caught her legs, and the hem of her skirt, it burnt them horribly. Now she can't walk, and you should know what dragon's fire can do. It doesn't. Oh fuck! That wasn't my sister's legs. Well, she wouldn't have revealed. She forced to reveal sensations of having her skin melted away from her flesh every waking hour of her life. For the last 12 years. That isn't the worst thing. That isn't what hurts the most. I think I have a relatively good idea what that might be. I don't even need to ask. I can remember it clearly. A young girl, her dirty nightgown, her legs blackened and burnt, and the smell of burning bodies, melting flesh, and it was unbearable. And in a quiet voice, with pain, the young girl asked why. Been through all this. in the end, you left her. Talia didn't die. She lay there on the ground in the dirt, in pain and agony, almost 2 days. The village burned around her, and the smell of the smoke and the dead bodies was almost more than she could bear. She was only 12. She wanted to die, but she couldn't. And then, after these hellish days, she was found on the ground by some people of their side. They had come on horseback to see why my mother and grandmother and big sister hadn't returned. When they found Celestia lying on the ground, dazed and in agony, but still alive, they brought her back here. They nursed her back to health, or what little health she is afforded to her now. She was the only one in the family who survived, and she never quite recovered. But what hurt my sister most was what you said. What you did. Nothing. That's right, you did nothing. Maybe I could have saved that young girl if I thought her life was worth saving, but I didn't. I knew, with her legs mangled like that, even if she did survive, she wouldn't be able to survive happily. I knew what kind of fate would have awaited that young girl if I had saved her, so I decided her life was no longer worth living. I left her to die. You could have fun sitting in this cell, reflect on your actions, think about what you did. And if I decide to apologise, will you let me go? If I was going to let you go, I would never bother capturing you to begin with. That's what I thought too. I just wanted to be sure. Even good people, if backed into a corner, can fight and kill the best of them. The worst of them, more like. What about Cecilia? Come down the next day, you're going to be executed. She says it's simple. There's no emotion in her voice. Has the whole village come to this consensus? They were against it at first, but I argued on Celestia's behalf, soon they all come around. They'd do anything to make her feel better. Even killing you. Killing me won't fix Celestia's legs. Maybe not, but I do erase the pain in her heart. It will make her happier. I doubt it. I don't care what you think. You are in no position to talk. We have to kill you. We have to. It's the only experience in the pain that my sister feels. I imagine she must be in a lot of pain, yes. So are you going to do the honours yourself? Well, Sister takes that backwards. For a few moments she looks unsettled, but she soon regains her composure. I'm the best mage on the list. I'm Celestia's sister. If any of those qualities kill you, I am. And you plan to make a public spectacle out of it. That's right, I'll drag you to the village centre by your hair, and I'll show everybody what happens when you betray a member of the Fairside village. I don't care if you're a legendary hero, that doesn't matter to me. How frightening. But legends don't spout up for no reason. Even without a sword, I am more capable of defending myself. Not if I bind you with magic. You have a lot of faith in your magic, don't you? Yes, I do. I started practicing when I was young. It was a hobby at first, but after what happened to Celestia, I was determined to get stronger and stronger and stronger, enough to protect her, so nobody would ever hurt her again. Strong enough to take down even a great warrior, if I ever had the chance. So you've been practicing for my sake, I'm flattered. And it isn't for your sake, it's for Celestia's. For revenge, yes, and soon I'll finally be able to end your life. The people of Talia won't be happy with you. In small villages like mine, we look after ourselves. It's the only thing we can do, and even if not everybody hails you as a hero, we in Fairside know the truth. You're not a hero, you're nothing more than a coward. You left one of our villagers for dead. You let our leader and past leader die. There's something you deserve to be punished. If nobody else in Talia will do it, then we will. People might revere you as a god, but that's ridiculous. You're just a normal woman, and you trick them. You trick them all, including my sister. Well, your legacy will come. Your legacy will come to an end soon enough. Tomorrow morning, I'll lean back against the stone wall. The cell, water drops slowly from the ceiling. Drip, drip, drip. I bring my knees beneath my chin, wrap my arms around my legs, ponder. I agree with Cecilia in part. I'll get this part over with. What's that? I never tried to trick anybody, least of all your sister. They're all deluded themselves. Talia is a sad country. War rages, we lose lives. People mourn up and down the country. They turn to the church, they turn to the army, they turn to heroes. When they realise there are no real heroes and everybody's just scared and sad, and small villages are as they are, they create heroes, amplifying legends, spread stories. Some of them are true, some of them are false, and people like me, who just so often happen to be in the right place at the right time, get all kind of responsibilities thrust upon us. Titles, accolades, a duration. I might be the great warrior, so whoever, Scourger of Battlefield, champion of Kadoth, the protector of Amaranth Village, but in the end of the day, I'm just a human. Celestia thinks I tried to trick everybody. She's wrong. They trick themselves. That's the only way to survive in this world. The young leader of Fairside Village, fostered position. She's on the other side of the iron bars. I'm still in my cell. As might be expected, the bars are fortified with Cecilia's fearsome magic, and I don't think I'll be escaping anytime soon. I don't really want to try either. She did all those things years ago, back in Freycross. She still has some fluffy hair and pale blue eyes. She really is cute, even though she's bound to a wooden chair. Her legs are completely concealed in a pale green fabric. I wouldn't wonder what they look like now. So they see her purrs her lips, maybe because of the pain. She's been in constant pain for 12 years. Alright.